Adam was diagnosed with leukemia in September of 2021. It was such a rare type. It was a very tough situation. When nothing was working, the doctor pretty much told us, get on a plane and go to Texas. That's our only hope left. I packed one little plastic bag. We didn't know we were gonna end up there for 2 months. Just being in a hospital over there, felt isolated, alone. You feel like the whole world is keeps going, and you're just stuck. You're stuck in that moment. You just need someone to comfort you and to tell you that everything's gonna be okay.
I'm en route to Aishel House, and it's about 2:30 in the afternoon. They'll have the meals prepared. They have the tags on the sacks of food of the hospitals, the room numbers, floor numbers, addresses, and so forth. It's very simple. I know the valets at each hospital, and I'll pull up to the hospital and they'll say, "Here comes the Aishel House man."
You're only taking one because the other person at Walter canceled their dinner.
Okay.
So it's just main building. Sean was incredible. There's never a week that whenever I send out the text to the volunteers, there's never a week that he doesn't respond.
What are you making, challah? Knishes.
He brings joy whenever he comes. He always walks in with a smile. He's just a joy to be around, and we feel it here. So I know that when he goes to the patients in the hospital, it carries with him all the way through.
All right.
Thank you very much.
See you around.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and thank you for taking care of our patients.
It's more than just what you're bringing. It's the attitude you have and the love that you're expressing, and that makes all the difference in the world.
Well, it's always my pleasure.
You do it with such style and class, and with such a smile. You make everybody feel good.
Thank you.
And every single volunteer, it lifts them up as well.
Makes me feel good. It brings me back to my Jewish values. This is a picture of all of our first cousins. That's my father, and that's me sitting on his lap at a Seder, at a Rosen family Seder in Wichita, Kansas. I was born in Wichita, Kansas in 1947. My father was from Poland. He came to the U.S. in 1929. My mother was from St. Louis. I attended Hebrew school at the Orthodox Synagogue in Wichita. I used to go to services with my father and stand next to him at all the high holiday services. This is on top of my bar mitzvah cake. Here's my total expenses for my bar mitzvah. Can you imagine this? $146.43. I remember him telling me the day after my bar mitzvah at the Orthodox Synagogue that he was very proud of me. He said, "You made me extremely proud," and that made me very happy. I actually received a scholarship to go to a yeshiva in Chicago. I decided not to because my father was not well, and I decided to stay home with him. I think he's happy that I did. Unfortunately, we lost him 1 year after my bar mitzvah.
We met Steve through Aishel House. He started delivering food every day to the hospital. And, as time goes on, we start getting into different conversations.
I remember Adam just like it was yesterday. When I was in his room, he had his tallis on. He had his yarmulke on. He had his siddur out. He was praying. And when I walked in, I said, "I won't interrupt you." He says, No. I'll put his siddur down. And he wanted to talk. And we talked.
Really, we looked forward to him stopping by the hospital. There were even times where I had to fly back to New York and Adam was in the hospital all alone. Imagine a sick person all alone in a hospital in a foreign state with no family, no friends.
I received a call from Adam. He called me on the phone. He said, "If you're not doing anything, stop up and let's visit." And I said, sure. I turned around and I went back and went up and sat across from him. I try to express positive thoughts to him. The fact that he's just not in this by himself. We're all in this thing together. And I think that's why Aishel House exists, because we're all in this thing together. Aishel House, Steve Rosen here.
Hi, nice to see you.
Nice to see you again, and here's your Sunday meal.
Thank
Enjoy.
you. I really appreciate it. You
You're
guys have
more
been
than
such a
welcome.
help.
Somebody even wrote on here you're a star, which you are.
Thank you. I think you guys are the stars, though. You go above and beyond for all of us, and I appreciate it immensely.
Thank you. Well, I think there's always hope. I've always been an optimist. I feel that with faith and the care of doctors, which in Houston we have the most unbelievable medical center in the United States, that there is a great hope that they will have a successful outcome. In 1991, I had a heart attack.
Wow.
1992, it didn't get any better, so they decided to do a bypass surgery. In 1991, while on a project in North Texas, I had a heart attack. My older daughter was just about bar mitzvah age, and my son was 2 years younger. And then I had a 1-year-old at home. And I looked out the window and I saw the traffic. And I said, ask God, give me a chance to get back out there. Give me a chance to get out there in the world, raise my family, maybe help other people. Let me just see this through to completion. Whatever it might be, I always pray to see it through to completion. I said, please God, help me get through this. So as I walk through the lobby today, I remember it every single time. And I just want to be able to walk out on these 2 feet, get in my car and drive away and feel fortunate and hope that the people upstairs are able to do the same thing very, very soon, including you. And I understand from going to Aishel House, we shouldn't worry so much, that Hashem will take care of everything. It's a nice thought.
So with somebody that I had visited, and he was very worried and anxious about where he's going. So I told him, let me sing you a song. My dear brother, look around and tell me what your eyes behold.
My husband reminds me all the time that we have no power to change that result. That's not in our power. But what we did do during that time is, during their journey, they didn't feel alone. They felt safe. They felt taken care of. They knew that the Jewish people are a whole people, and a person is never alone.
Even when people are going through a difficult stage in their life, there can be those bright spots and those bright moments that even years later, people can look back with comfort and with a smile.
But dear brother, you must have faith that we are not the only ones.
And I could do what I could do, but you could do what you could do. And Steve Shlomo could do what he could do. And the world is a good place. There's many good people. And the more people we involve, the more we're going to spread it.
Oh, I believe that there is a world to come. Yes, I believe.
And sometimes we get a glimpse and we say, oh my gosh, this is so freaky. Did you know that his daughter just gave the transfusion and then he went? It's like all of a sudden you have some clarity.
My daughter Caroline, who is very involved in the community, Jewish community affairs in Houston, saw something online about a young man who needed white blood cells of a certain blood type. When she was donating the white blood cells, one of the nurses who was taking the blood cells said, "Is this for Adam?" And my daughter Caroline says, "No, Adam is my husband." And the nurse said, "No, Adam is the first name of the patient."
We needed white blood cells desperately. The way it works with white blood cells, it's not the same way as red blood cells. You have to have an actual donor that gives it in like an hour or two before you receive it. I actually tried to donate my white blood cells to him, and I had antibodies because I had kids, so I wasn't an eligible donor.
She came down, and I said to her, By any chance, did your husband receive white blood cells? And she started crying. And she said, was that you? I said, no, it wasn't me, but it was pretty close to me. It was my daughter who gave them.
She didn't even know where they were going to. She just knew that someone in the hospital needed it. And it was really from Hashem that, Adam was the recipient.
He was finally able to be released from MD Anderson, and he was released to go back to New York, where unfortunately, a few weeks later, I was informed that he did pass away around his children and his family in New York.
So I have a little surprise for you. 2 days ago, I was by Meira, Hefner, and I videoed her.
Oh my gosh. Am I on film now?
Yeah, on film, yeah.
When Adam was diagnosed with leukemia, they gave him 2 weeks to live. They gave him 2 weeks, and he survived an entire year because of the hope that we gave him, because of the love he had. We always told him, everything's gonna be okay, we're all here for you. And just to have, people like Steve there giving you that push when it's so hard to go on and it's so easy to give up hope. You knew you mattered and that Adam mattered, and it would give you the strength to go on another day. Be like, okay, we could do this. We have people behind us. We're not alone. Really, I'll never forget. Thank you really from the bottom of my heart, and may Hashem bless you and your family for your kindness and for your generosity.
You ask me about hope. This is hope. This is the definition of hope. And that's what Aishel House brings.